Mm.
So, some crazy shit just happened last weekend, boys.
Oh yeah.
And for anyone that watches the UFC, there's this fighter named Tony Ferguson. And for the longest time, he was on this really big fight streak, or win streak, I mean, where I think he was on like a 12 win streak. And this is when Conor McGregor was champion of the lightweights, and he just never got that chance to fight McGregor.
Hmm.
Um, but he ended up losing a fight. I want to say last year or 2 years ago, um, in the middle of the pandemic. He ended up fighting against. I think the loss was against Gaethje, and then ever since then he like hasn't exactly been the best.
Hmm.
And he ended up fighting this guy that came from Bellator, and the guy ended up Chandler, Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler ended up doing a Sparta kick to Tony Ferguson's chin, and just
Hmm.
knocked him out cold. Like dude just fell down on his face.
Just 10 seconds in the fucking second round, knocked his ass out cold.
Yup.
Jesus.
And
No
like
one's been able
Ferguson's
to do
always
that.
been, yeah, Ferguson's always been known to be like
Arguably the
insane,
toughest dude.
really hard to knock out, just like legitimately crazy, like will beat the fuck out of somebody, lick the blood off his hands kind of guy.
Right.
He just got sat the fuck down.
That was tough to see.
And then after Oliveira getting his title stripped, walked in there and won that fucking fight.
Easily. Easily too. There was and it was against Gaethje, Justin Gaethje.
Ooh.
I saw this like list of the last few fighters that Gaethje ended up fighting, of like who took the longest time to, uh, or like the time to like take Gaethje out. And
Right.
Khabib
Hmm.
was second on the list. A lot of people like to talk that Khabib was the goat, um, but he ended up leaving when he became champion. So that's just, I don't know. That's kind of weird. But
Yeah.
anyways, Khabib ended up taking like a good 6 minutes, close to 7 minutes, and Oliveira did it in under 4 minutes.
Oof.
So
Um, Real quick though. So welcome to the Beer Nuts about podcast, right?
Hmm.
So we are going to be talking about Doctor Strange spoilers.
Hmm.
We're gonna give it a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't want to dive straight into it.
Should,
right,
should
I
should
just
we
want to
like cover our ears when
earmuffs.
when we're gonna talk about it?
We'll just say it. But yes. So that card was pretty crazy. That what's her name? Thug Rose got her ass beat.
Hmm.
Not
it
even
wasn't
got her
even
ass
that.
beat. I
Like
think it
that
was just a
was,
boring ass fight,
yeah. People talked about how that was arguably the worst fight they've ever seen,
right?
and it lasted all 3 rounds, I think. Uh,
Yeah, it went to decision.
and Rose ended up losing.
Yeah.
So who knows what went up with that, but it's whatever. We're getting a Joanna versus Whaley fight again, so that was 2020's fight of the year, I think, or 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and that same night, Canelo ended up fighting a weight class above him, so he was super middleweight, and I didn't even know until that fight that he was going up the weight class to light heavyweight. Um, and this guy that he was fighting was champion Dmitry Bivol. Bivol? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but dude was super tough, man. Like Canelo could not go through his guard. He did not know what to do. This is like, aside from the time where he lost to Mayweather, uh,
Hmm.
he looked. I don't want to say lost, but he just couldn't get through the guard of Dimitri. And whenever Dimitri saw his openings, he just kept jabbing away, kept, getting as many licks in as he could. And it went down to all 12 rounds. And he ended up winning the fight against Canelo. So that was pretty interesting to see, because I've never seen Canelo like that, aside from when he fought Mayweather. I think that was actually the first fight I've ever seen with Canelo, was when he fought Mayweather. That was a long time ago. And he ended up saying this quote. I'd have to look it up. I thought I had it already set up, but yeah, it made me a fan of Dimitri as well. It was just a pretty cool fight, and a lot of people are just saying, he might have thrown the fight, but I saw the fight. It didn't really look that way. It just looked like he didn't know what to do against Bivol.
But, I mean, they might have been accusing him of throwing because he couldn't break the guard, and some people just don't know how hard it is to break guards sometimes.
I really like his quote, because he ended up having, I found it. He ended up having the after party, and he says, "I want to tell you all, I'm not hurt at all, but my heart hurts a lot. I want to tell you, in this life, those who don't take risks and challenges never do anything. He who is scared becomes no one in life. Today I lost, but I have to accept it like a man. And you have to have balls to accept it. But I want to tell you that this will make me much stronger, and wait to see what comes next." So that's really cool to see. Like, he just humble as fuck about it. And even in the post-fight conference, Dimitri was just like super humble as well. So I can't wait to see the second fight. Hopefully turns out to be a banger this time, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the fights.
It's definitely an interesting night for all the different fights.
Cowboy his fight ended up getting canceled because he felt sick, but the fight is still on in June 18th, I think. With Joe Lozon.
Are they doing it? Are they doing it that?
I think it's a fight night.
I am interested in that. I like both fighters. Both have just unfortunately kind of lost their edge over the years.
How many schmeckles on them, Brad?
At least 2.
At least.
But no, I like Joe Lozon. I know Joe Lozon from the Painkiller Ready podcast. He's friends with all those guys, and I started watching his fights because of them. And he's a good fighter, and then things just didn't end up going too well. But I'm excited for that fight. I also like Cowboy a lot. Like, I always found, so Cowboy to me is that he's like the gate guardian of the UFC, where like if you can beat him, you deserve to fight the top guys. Like he's not a top guy himself. He's not like a number 1 and number 2, but he's the guy that you got to beat to move on to those guys. He's good at what he does, and he's been doing it for so long. The man has like, I don't know, fucking like 80 fights under his belt or some shit.
Right.
But he's still getting up there, so it's, I don't know. His official fight record is 36-16. 2 no contest.
No contest. That's a surprise. Against who?
These look like they're from a long time ago. Unanimous decision. He has a lot of unanimous decisions. He had a fight overturned against Kenneth Alexander, so that's a no contest. That was back in 2007. And then
that was 7th grade, boyos.
Yeah, it was.
Cowboy has the most UFC fights ever in UFC history. 51 fights.
That doesn't seem right. Oh, apparently his fight against Nico Price was overturned as well.
Don't even know
which
those
was
guys.
like last year or something.
Nico Price.
Failed drug test by Price. So Price failed his drug test, and it was just a no contest. So I think he lost initially.
Right.
Cerrone, I think he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then they switched it to a no contest because, yeah, that was 2020. It was during Covington versus Woodley.
Oh,
damn, he's on a big losing streak right now. Lost, no contest, lost. His last win, 2019.
Jesus Christ.
But so Billy Cerrone's the guy who,
Yeah, it's Cowboy, isn't it?
yeah. So he's the guy who, hey, this person just got sick. He got COVID. Can you fight in 2 days? Are you ready? And Cowboy goes, yeah. And he'll just fight. Like he's that guy where like Dana White just has to give him a phone call and he's just like, yeah, man. Cerrone's a bad man.
Last week it was confirmed that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was wrapped. They're done filming. No.
Wow.
We're just that much closer. I'm assuming it's gonna be one more year before we see it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. That's one of the few that I'm just not super looking forward to.
Why?
They're planning to release it in 2023.
I don't really care about where that storyline's gonna go. I don't think. The Guardians are like the people I care the least about.
You don't care about Dave
from the main
stuff?
group. I don't care about the whole shit with Gamora.
His character actually shined a lot in the second Guardians.
Yeah.
I don't like Star-Lord's character after that whole shit with Thanos. Our Gamora is actually dead, you know.
Damn, Brad's really feeling this one, huh?
Very strong about this one. Okay, but what if I told you that both Vin Diesel and Sylvester Stallone are in it? And Bradley Cooper.
Sylvester Stallone's been in all of them. Bradley Cooper's literally Rocket Raccoon Billy.
I know.
Sylvester Stallone was only in the second
Vin
one.
Diesel's literally Groot.
I'm pretty sure Sylvester Stallone was also in the first one.
Nope.
Sylvester Stallone is Stakar Ogord.
Only in the second one.
Yes, we know who fucking Sylvester Stallone is in them, Billy. It's not like he wears a mask.
Stakar Ogord wasn't in the first one, though.
Yeah, no, that was just a side story that had to do with Yondu and the old Ravagers. And yeah, that was only in the second one. But after that, there were rumors that they were trying to make I guess like a Ravager spin-off with those characters.
Like a Yondu spin-off?
No, not Yondu. It was with Sylvester Stallone's character and the people that he was with at the time.
They already made that a while back. It's called Mary Poppins. Also,
Yep.
Did you know that Rob Zombie is in Guardians 1, Billy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah? Who is he?
It's Rob Zombie.
Ravager Navigator.
Damn. That's crazy.
Billy, do you know who Rob Zombie is?
Never heard of him in my life.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, he was the guy that wrote movies, right?
I mean, yes.
Stan Lee was the guy that made the music, right? Yeah, Stan Lee's saying Dragula, right?
So I was listening to this podcast the other day. Shout out to the John Campea show. Like they do a lot of movie stuff and TV shows. I don't think they really talk about anything else but that. But they ended up bringing up a topic for Taika Waititi. He was talking about how he thinks this is like arguably the best Marvel movie made. But you know, that's a director. When a director says that, it's just like, you know, you take it with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you also got to take into consideration Christian Bale being in the movie. he didn't. I don't remember. I don't remember if he actually like said that he wasn't going to do any more superhero movies. But if he did say that, I mean, what if the script is just that damn good that he wanted to become a villain, you know?
Right. I
mean,
still hope that they do something with his look.
Yeah. I mean, it's just pictures right now. Who knows how it's going to look like until we see a trailer for it. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to have him in one of the next trailers before the movie comes out.
Hopefully.
If they don't, it's going to be some crazy shit making everyone watch the movie just to find out what he looks like in there.
I mean, that's arguably what he should do, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess Christian Bale has never seen a superhero movie except for the ones he's been in the Christopher Reeve Superman films.
What?
Someone
he's
asked.
Not a fucking nerd, apparently.
Well, someone asked him when he was shooting or promoting his new movie, The Promise. I don't know what was this article in. This was back in 2017. So at the time, the new movie, The Promise, they asked if he was interested in working with Marvel, being involved in another superhero film and all that. And he said he's not interested in doing that. He's never seen a single superhero film that he hasn't made or that Christopher Reeve Superman films. So he's only seen ones that he's been in or made, or the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah. Oh. Well, now that's saying something. That's saying something just for the fact that he is now a part of Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Benedict Cumberbatch was like interviewed recently and was talking about how he will not even read the rest of the script because he's interested in what happens. Like he's a fan of the series, so he'll just sit there and watch.
Right. But the exact opposite of it's the Spider-Man. It's the new Spider-Man.
Tom Holland?
Yeah, exact opposite of Tom Holland.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he always leaks spoilers and all that.
Oh yeah,
the fans always got
him and Mark Ruffalo.
Oh no, I mean yes, but that's just because he doesn't have a filter.
Yeah, like, they had to stop giving him the script because he would keep revealing stuff.
Yeah.
Tom Holland overthinks those questions and stuff, and then he just brings it up by accident.
Mark Ruffalo being like,
if you think this movie is crazy, just wait till Infinity War. Everyone dies. That's when Don Cheadle just like really wanted to punch him in the face. He's just like, dude. He's like, what? Am I supposed to? Am I not supposed to say that? No, nobody dies.
Don Cheadle, not Don Cheadle. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Falcon. What's his fucking name?
Anthony Mackie.
He has a really funny relationship with Tom Holland. Like they're always fucking with each other and kind of being assholes to each other in like different interviews that they do. Like, oh, what movies have you been in? And then Tom Holland being like, oh, I don't know. Or me being like, I mean, I just only have my own movie,
So kind of like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, yeah. Those guys are... I love Hugh Jackman, dude. You can't retire Wolverine, but I wish they would retire Wolverine because no one's going to be able to beat that.
That Logan movie pissed me off because of how sad it was. It's
Logan
just like
was fantastic though.
I'm just like, fuck, dude. This being the last movie making me feel like shit. I don't like it.
That's crazy. And Xavier dies and we're never gonna see
spoilers.
What's his face is Xavier ever again.
Yeah. Anyways,
how long have we been recording?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. You're right there,
Can we
bud?
talk about it? Can we
Yeah.
talk about it for 40 minutes?
I mean, we probably could.
Probably. Yeah.
There's-
You're really good at
there's-
drawing things out.
A lot to talk about.
You're not gonna be able to talk about it, Billy.
I'll be able to nod my head and say yes, yes.
So
Earmuffs.
I want to start with Doctor Strange 2
Spoiler alert.
was this is actually
No
not a
spoilers
spoiler.
yet. No spoilers yet.
Not yet. It
No.
was banned in China.
Really?
Yes. So supposedly there was during a fight scene, like in the background you could see Epic Times. It's spelled EPOCH, but I looked it up and apparently that word's pronounced like epic. So
Not Epoch?
yeah, apparently not. so,
Interesting.
so that that news company is very anti China, yeah, communist China. So because of that, China ended up banning the movie.
Wow. Because there's just something in the background.
Yeah, and the first one, you guys remember the ancient one in the first one?
Yes.
So
Baltic?
yeah, the lady. Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Originally, that was supposed to be played by a Tibetan man, but because China doesn't officially recognize Tibet, Disney ended up changing it to the ancient one being a bald British lady. So,
Interesting.
I don't know why they're even trying to adhere towards anything, you know, for
Right.
China. Like, don't even fucking attempt it.
well, it's Disney, and I don't know. They got to back up Winnie the Pooh somehow, right?
Right. Well, next band in China. The Mere Nonsense Podcast.
I'm fucking fine with it. Fuck Winnie the Pooh and fuck Putin. There we go.
There we go. And said it. Billy, get your
Can't take
get your boogaloos ready. They're coming after us.
Boogloos are always ready.
No, but
night vision goggles too.
so Billy hasn't seen Doctor Strange 2.
That's the stream.
Yeah, you're pretty much gonna get the whole story in the stream. So
That's fine.
spoilers ahead for anyone
And
that
for
cares.
Spider-Man, probably a little bit. I don't know. Honestly, you don't even have to watch Spider-Man to watch this. So
Yeah. So Doctor Strange 2 starts off with I guess a different universe Doctor Strange. I think there was a proper title for him. I just don't fucking know what it is. Anyways, he's running through some crazy multiverse dimension. He's running through it with a new character known as America Chavez. And I still don't know a lick of fucking shit what that character is really. But it's these two running away from this this type of monster. It looks like it's made of rags or whatever. And they're trying to get this thing called the Book of Ashanti, which is pretty much like the answer to anything negative, you know. They get to it, some shit pops off, and Doctor Strange ends up trying to take America Chavez's powers. And at this point, we really don't know what her powers are. And he's just like, but I need your powers so I can fucking destroy this thing. And in the middle of it, he ends up dying. And it's just like, oh shit, well, not only are you an asshole, but you fucked up. So here we are. And America Chavez just gets like really scared, and she opens up this this portal to what they call, which is our main universe, Earth 616, and they end up coming into the streets right in front of where Doctor Strange's place is. I forgot what it's called. The Sanctum? I don't know. New York Sanctum? Who knows?
So one quick thing on Earth 616, which is interesting. So 616 is the main canonical universe of Marvel. But I thought that this was the first mention of it, but it's not. It was mentioned in Thor, like OG Thor or Thor the Dark World, one of the two.
Yeah.
Where he had it written on the chalkboard, the grandpa guy. First of all, how did you know that it was 616? He's not a multi-dimensional traveler, right?
That we know of.
Right. It was also mentioned by what's his name? Mysterio?
Dr. Selvig, that was his name, I think.
Dr. Selvig, yeah. Mysterio mentioned it, which is also weird because it turns out he was a fraud.
Right.
So how did he know that? You know, like are they gonna retcon that at some point? I don't know.
The fact that he mentioned it too. You know what's crazy? Yeah. Going back to that, a lot of people were expecting some multiverse level shit in that Spider-Man, because there was a lot of rumors that was going to be the start for the multiverse.
Talk about No Way Home.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally was, but go ahead.
No, I mean, like, as in we're going to get, like, actual multiverse stuff. But we didn't get any.
I understand what you're saying, but I mean, we did get multiverse stuff. They came
Far From Home, I mean, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
With fucking like, with Mysterio. Like, with Mysterio.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why I agreed with
No Way Home all about multiverse?
Yeah. No, yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. Far From Home.
Okay, I was thinking No Way Home, and I'm like, No Way Home's literally about opening up the fucking multiverse. What are you talking about? Like, I understand that we didn't go to the multiverse.
No, yeah.
The multiverse came to us, but okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing a bunch of like, I guess, fan theories. You know, like everyone likes to do before the movie comes out. They're just like, you know, what if this Mysterio is actually from the multiverse or whatever, and then, you know, he explains where he came from or whatever. I don't know. I just found it funny that we didn't actually get anything from Far From Home in terms of multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
But going back, what were you gonna say?
Nope. Go ahead.
Going back to Doctor Strange, so he comes out and he sees just this cool ass fucking Dungeons and Dragons monster. Fucking, I forgot what it was called. I think they call it like a Gorgon. I don't know. Something like that. Who the fuck knows? But it's this big fucking eyeball with a bunch of tentacles. And
this is skipping ahead to our universe. Our Doctor Strange is currently at a wedding for his ex. And she's getting married to someone else. And then they come out because they hear a giant crash. They come out to the giant eyeball.
All right. Yep. Yeah. So that happens. And then the squid comes out. The squid monster, whatever, just starts destroying shit. And we finally get to see some cool, I guess, some cool moves from Wong, because Doctor Strange is trying to figure out what America Chavez is doing there and like why that squid monster wants her so bad. And then I think he gets fucked up somehow, like he gets knocked out. And then Wong comes through and just starts ripping into this thing. But then he gets fucked up too.
Also to point out, I think this is the first time we hear that Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme now and not Doctor Strange. Where in the comics, Doctor Strange is supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme. And as pointed out,
the most powerful one, isn't he?
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, he probably is stronger than Wong, but Wong has been sorcerer longer, blah, blah, blah. But as pointed out later in the movie, when we get to the multiversal shit, every other universe, it's fucking Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I found that kind of funny. It's kind of like it's an ongoing thing that everyone like bows to the Sorcerer Supreme, but Strange is just like, fuck that shit. He's like, they're like, oh yeah, did you know that it's a formality that everyone does? He's like, oh, good for them.
It's pretty ironic too, because back in the Avengers movie, wasn't Wong supposed to be super strong and ended up like doing nothing in the movie? I think was it Avengers Endgame?
I
Can't
I
remember.
I don't remember. I just remember him fighting a little bit when they showed him come through the
Doing
hole.
his little
But
It's like he was supposed to be really strong, and then he did like little to nothing during the whole fight.
well, I don't think they showed him actually doing much. Like I don't think it was supposed to show him.
Mm, he didn't do anything. It's okay. Just sat on his thumbs.
Okay. Wong is also very powerful.
He really is. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing more of him, but side character
I
stuff.
thought we were gonna see at least somebody from Shang-Chi.
Anyone in particular? Or?
I mean, just the fact that spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen Shang-Chi. I think it's the post-credit scene or before the post-credit scene. But anyways, Shang-Chi. Yeah. So kind of hinting at that maybe they would end up coming through for that next Doctor Strange, but nope, nothing really. And
I thought the chick was gonna at least like remember when at the end how America was like practicing opening portals or whatever she was doing when she got her sparks. I was expecting what's her face from Shang-Chi to be there, doing that shit too, like training with them. But no.
Maybe they're going to use that for another Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, also, so this is a slight not off topic, but I wasn't expecting this, but the kid, what's his fucking name, Ned?
Mm-hmm.
Ned also has sorcery powers now too, so maybe he'll be in the future Doctor Strange movie.
Right.
Doctor Strange's apprentice.
But his character name is the same character name as the Hobgoblin. So a lot of people are expecting that he might actually become the Hobgoblin in one of the next Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, Ned is in the comics the Hobgoblin.
Yeah. But
Hobgoblin these
right, dude?
Got him.
So insert joke.
Yeah, no. I don't really remember what happens in between that fight to when they get to the rooftop, unless that's the actual transition.
What rooftop?
After the fight, where they're talking and trying to figure out what's going on with her. And they have the body with them of the Doctor Strange that was killed in the beginning.
Oh, no, they're fighting, and then they mention something about her Doctor Strange, because she's like, you're not going to betray me, are you? And then they show dead Doctor Strange's body.
Right. So then they end up talking a little bit more about what's going on, and they're in this rooftop. And before they end up leaving, because Doctor Strange told Wong to take America to the temple and just, hold her there, protect her there for now. And he would go talk to Wanda to see what's going on, see if she can help out. So
Billy, do you remember WandaVision?
I mean, I haven't seen WandaVision, but yes.
You never watched WandaVision? Jesus fuck, dude. So WandaVision.
Are you surprised?
Yes, because you watched all of fucking Moon Knight
and Loki.
See what I mean?
Did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Nope.
So,
what a guy.
Long story short, with WandaVision, Wanda traps a town using her powers and creates her own reality where she has her own kids and Vision is still alive. At the very end, all of that's taken away, and she goes off to some
farm, forest area.
Some place secluded from society. And it's all pretty, it's all planty, it's like she's like a farmer or some shit. And then she's reading through a book and continues. That's the end of WandaVision.
The book that she's reading through is The Darkhold, and it had to do with all the powers of her character, of the Scarlet Witch. So, she's reading that at the end of her show, and getting stronger, trying to figure out her more of her powers. So, yeah, at that rooftop, they try to figure out what to do with Doctor Strange's dead body from the beginning of the movie, and 616 Doctor Strange ends up burying him up there on the rooftop, which was kind of funny.
Like it's some rubble.
Yeah, yeah, because like you know how some rooftops in New York they have like I guess a garden
like
up in the rooftop.
Gardens.
Yeah. So he just took that stuff off and just buried him in there. But yeah, Doctor Strange ends up going to Wanda, and she's just living this really chill life, smelling flowers, because apparently that's what people fucking do nowadays when they chill by themselves, is smell flowers.
You don't smell flowers?
I'd like to point out a funny fact about, or not fact, but a funny part of this scene. So they're walking, and Wanda's just like, why didn't you ask any other Avenger? And Doctor Strange is like, oh yeah, I'll choose the guy who shoots arrows. It's between that, and one of the world's strongest magic users. It's an easy choice.
They throw too much shade to my boy Hawkeye, man.
Poor Hawkeye.
I think they were embracing the meme of people just being like, you have the Hulk who's super strong, and you have fucking Cap and all this shit, and then you have Arrow Man.
Like when he was first given Wanda that little TED talk before they go out and fight the Ultron bots. He's like, look, we're in a floating sky, and I have a bow and arrow. Nothing makes sense. But yeah, no, he ends up talking to her, trying to get some info from her. And at first, she thinks he's here to talk about what happened in the WandaVision show, because she did fuck up a lot of lives with that, man. And he's just like, no, which I don't know if I should agree with this, but he's just like, I'm not there for that. You did right by it in the end, but did she though?
Basically saying she righted her own wrongs. Kinda. I mean, like, she set everything back to normal. The only thing left is PTSD, I guess. and now the fact that we have a new metahuman in what's her face?
Oh, Photon?
Rambo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau.
Sylvester Rambo.
Say John Rambo's daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. Might as well be.
That's the real Mary Poppins.
The real Mary Poppins.
But no, so they're talking, and come to find out that she was the one that sent the monster to chase down America in the beginning.
I'm sorry, I'm going to pause you again. So this is another cool part where they're talking about it, and Doctor Strange is like, yeah, no, you can come back to us to whatever the Sorcerer Supreme place is where they all hang out and train. I forget the name of it, but yeah, you can go back there. And she's like, well, and then Wanda says, why don't you bring America here? And then they keep walking and talking, and you see Doctor Strange kind of slow down a little bit. And then Wanda goes, I never said her name, did I? Or you never said her name, did you? And he said no. And so then she pulls away. So again, it was all green and foresty and shit. And then she just pulls away reality, and everything is desolate and black and red. The entire sky is red. All of the trees are completely burnt away. And she was like the hex was the easy part, but lying, I guess, is a little bit harder. And at just a wave of her hand, you see as the whole screen turns red. And you can tell that, like, everything she's been doing with this book has caused that around her. Fucking wild.
Just slowly decaying everything.
But then, yes, what Z just said is then she says, basically you find out that she's the one who is trying to get America Chavez. Right? Was her name? America? Yeah, yep. America Chavez. Yeah, anyways. Yep. Go ahead.
You can continue.
So, pulls away reality, and he's basically like, well, fuck. Well, now I'm not going to give you the kid. And she just said, well, you just told me exactly where she is. And then Doctor Strange is like, well, now what? She says, you have till dawn. Prepare for, or give me the kid or prepare for war. And I think it was a hard cut to him back at, again, whatever that place is called, right?
Yeah.
And then America, yeah, Tibet. So they go back to Tibet, and then America Chavez is just like, so you fucking told the bad guy where I am? And he's just like,
I bet.
and so then they start talking, and they're basically fortifying the fortress, and they're like, we have to prep for fucking war. And it's just a whole scene of them like just talking through it, setting things up, and then they're like, okay, let's get ready. And then you see a dark cloud start rolling in from the distance, and Wanda by herself, right? And then Doctor Strange is about to fly up to her, and Wong is just like, choose your words carefully, or else we're all gonna die. And Doctor Strange is like, I'll do what I can, and then goes up, and then just a little bit of a stare down, and she's just like, I want my fucking kids back. So it turns out she wants her kids. Doctor Strange is like, your kids never fucking existed. And then Wanda's just like, they exist somewhere. They're real somewhere. So I think this is where we start learning that she wants to steal America because America can open portals to other multiverses, to other worlds. She wants to steal her for her power so she can just go live with her children. That's all she wants to do, supposedly. She just wants to go do that. A little bit of like back and forth. She gets pissed off at Doctor Strange.
And she's like, you had your chance, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. She attacks Doctor Strange. They put up a veil in front of Doctor Strange. And then it's like a whole scene of her like throwing magic balls at them, trying to kill them or whatever, but they're fortifying their defenses pretty well. But then she starts she starts staring at one of the sorcerers,
ones.
Gets into his head, and it's this really cool fucking scene of it focusing on his face, and then all you see is an image of Wanda coming around behind him and going, run. And then he drops his guard and then dips. He starts running away, which as he's running away, he starts pushing over other people, which make them lose their grip on the shield. And then she's just able to blast through and kill everybody in there. So then the rest of this scene is Wanda slaughtering all of these fucking sorcerers. Again, we'll call it Tibet. She's fucking up Tibet, killing all these fucking people.
Yup. And then comes like one of the coolest things ever afterwards, because it just comes down to Wong, America Chavez, and Doctor Strange, and they're running through the halls. There was a sorcerer in the middle of that seemed like she could be, I guess, Wong's right-hand man, maybe.
The black chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, while they're running through, trying to get away from Wanda, and they lock her out of one of the rooms.
Get to talk about the mirror trap thing?
Yeah. There's a bunch of guys. Were those guys, the first few guys that she got, were they in the same room as them? Or no?
I don't know.
Because she ends up going through like puddles of water and just like destroying these people.
Well, so she gets it's a trap. She gets trapped, and then like all of these mirrors pop up out of nowhere, and like Wanda's just like, what the fuck's going on? And then she starts to put her hand into one, and it's water instead of a beer. And then so this is really where the horror movie aspect starts kicking in. You start seeing everyone in the room with a couple nobodies, right? A couple fodder. By puddles or by reflections, and all you see is Wanda come through and grab them, and starts killing them or whatever. And like you just hear whispering as she's like bouncing around, like fucking all these people up. And then Doctor Strange is like, she's doing it through the reflections. They like everyone's trying to like cover the reflection shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually she's able to get through one of them. She goes to grab America Chavez, and America opens up a portal out of fear. She's like terrified, opens up a portal, and then they get pushed through into a different universe. And the scene here is, so it always opens up in a star, which is really cool.
Yep.
They're all star shaped, and it's like a multi-level, like star, 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 star. Like, you know how like if you put a mirror next to a mirror, it's like that but with stars. So it looks really cool. They get pushed in, and then it shows them like falling through different universes, and there's like, you know, a couple, like a futuristic one, and then like there's one where they go through and they're paint or some shit.
Yeah.
Like they're just made out of paint. There's one where they're cartoons, you know, and it just shows different multiverses as they're falling through it. And then they finally land in Universe 838 is the official universe.
Yes, sir.
So they're walking through, and Doctor Strange is talking, and out of nowhere, America disappears. And he's like, where the fuck is she, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, rule number 1 with the multiverse, always find food. And then she has like these pizza balls or whatever, and she starts eating them. He's like, oh, where'd you get that? And he's like, there's a guy over there. He's like, you didn't pay for it? It's like, most universes, it's free to eat. And then this guy's like, hey, you're supposed to pay for that. That was Bruce Campbell, wasn't it?
Yep, that was Bruce Campbell.
Yep, so Bruce Campbell was the pizza guy, and he starts yelling at him. Doctor Strange puts a little spell on him to make him start punching himself. And as they're walking away, she's like, how long is that going to last? Not too long. 3 weeks. So he's punching himself. And then at this point, they're like, well, you know, this universe's me, as in Doctor Strange, should know better. You know, like, let's go find him.
There's an interesting scene that happened before they get to the Sanctum. They end up passing by this futuristic shop where you stand in front of it, and it reads you, and it shows you your fondest memory. And it shows Doctor Strange was first, and it showed him with
so bad
with Christine. And then, you know, you obviously know that in the beginning that he ended up going to her wedding, so he didn't actually marry her or get to be with her. So he just doesn't want to talk about it or anything. And then America goes up, and you see she's a kid. I mean, she's at this point, I think she's like mid-teen, but in this one, she looks like she's, I don't know, maybe like 6 years old, 7 years old or whatever. And her parents are these Hispanic ladies. So she has 2 moms. And they're just walking in a park or something like that. I don't know. But then there's a bee. I think it was a bee. And it scares her. It scared her so much that she opened up her first rift, her first portal. And she was able to grab onto like a tree log or branch or whatever to like hang tight while the portal's like trying to suck in whatever's in front of them. And it ends up taking both of her parents. So like, imagine that being like your fondest and like worst memory at the same time at that age. Oh my
goodness, yeah.
And like, you don't even know how to work your powers. So you come to find out that so like in the multiverse, everyone has a version of them in each universe. But America is one of a kind. Out of all the multiverse, it is just her. And that was a pretty intense scene that we ended up getting for her. But then they end up, you know, talking about it a little bit, and then they end up walking towards the Sanctum, and they see that there's a statue of Doctor Strange. And it says, you know, he gave his life to fight Thanos. And they're just like, oh shit, well, he's dead, so what do we do now? And they're about to walk away, but then the door opens, and it's Mordo from that universe. And dude is like super chill. Doesn't hate him or anything, goes for a hug. And they're like, I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd come. So they end up going inside and start talking about it. And they're just talking about the Darkhold and then the Book of Ashanti. And in the middle of that, Mordo's giving them both some tea, which
Mm-hmm.
had like some sleep agent in it to like, knock them out. And they get knocked out and they wake up in this type of prison, this futuristic prison where it's just like a wall of glass, and then they're handcuffed or whatever, and they can't break through it. And they see Christine walking through, and then they start
Doctor
talking.
Strange's ex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So because Billy
from
doesn't
that
know
universe.
I know.
I've been saying Christine. I've been saying Christine for like I don't know.
Yeah, I know who Christine
I just gotta make sure, Billy sometimes forgets these things.
Billy reads the Wikipedias.
Yeah, but there's some things there just honestly probably didn't really matter from the conversations that they were having, because it really just went from that to being pushed in to talk to whoever it was that put him away. Now, while he's being escorted by Ultron bots.
Mm-hmm.
And he, once he finally gets into whatever council room he's in, I think the first person you see is Captain Carter.
Yeah, so Captain Carter comes in. I like how they did this, because it's Captain Carter. She pops up. So I don't know if you watched What If, Billy, but one of the multiversal what if things is what if
Peggy ended up getting the...
Peggy, yeah. If Peggy ended up getting the serum instead of Cap. So, and she becomes
Captain Carter, the first Avenger. They called her, yeah.
Carter. She has like a British shield for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't remember why. But, so her, and then they call her Captain Marvel, but it's Photon.
No, no, it was no, it wasn't her. It was her best friend from... Have you guys seen Captain Marvel?
Yes.
It was her best friend that's the pilot. So it's the mom. Yeah.
Monica Rambeau's mom.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's her mom, and then they show Kong guy, right?
That's Black Bolt. And that's Black Bolt from the Inhumans TV show that fucking flopped like there's no other. I don't know if you guys ever saw the trailers for it or anything. I only saw the trailers. Ramsay Bolton was in there in that show. For anyone that watches Game of Thrones. But the actor for Black Bolt in that show, Anson Mount, he got another chance at playing Black Bolt in this movie. So that was really fucking cool to see that. So it showed Black Bolt, and then who else did it show?
The next one is the big reveal, I believe.
Yeah.
Reed Richards as what's his name?
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
So imagine that. Something that started off as a fan casting.
A meme. Or a fan casting, yeah.
And the fact that it actually turned out to be true. Like, that is cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And then even better, so there were I don't know how many seats there were, but all the way on the right there was an empty seat.
It was like three and two with a space in the middle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like an empty space in the middle.
And one of those seats was for the Sorcerer Supreme, which is now Mordo. And then comes Professor X from the 90s X-Men animated series. He comes in with the hover chair as
Sir
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. There we go.
He comes in.
So he rolls in with the yellow Hot Wheels car coming
in.
Whoa,
Whoa. He's got no rollers on this bad boy.
You're right. I'm sorry. I still call him Hot Wheels.
But yeah, he comes in and he's talking to him. But before we go off on whatever's going on with this, so the Ultron bots that came in, they were nice. Which two theories? In Age of Ultron, I would assume that's exactly how Ultron was supposed to go originally. before he became
Mhm.
corrupt and, you know, Age of Ultron happened. So which means that Iron Man did his job. He put an actual suit of armor around the world and therefore did not need to be Iron Man anymore. So maybe that's why he wasn't even there on that extra seat. Or originally, what's up?
Go ahead.
Ori-
I'm gonna sidetrack a little.
Originally, Ultron was created by Hank Pym, so maybe
Mhm.
there wasn't even any Iron Man to begin with.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So, and then also, like, was there like an actual Ultron? You know, like, was there ever like a bad version
That
of him in
was
this universe? Like, we don't know.
right. It was supposed to be
Um,
just an AI like Jarvis.
Mhm.
So to back up a little bit, I'm missing a little bit in my memory, but they start talking about dream walking at some point. So dream walking is something out of the Darkhold, the Necronomicon, the Darkhold,
Mhm.
where so Wanda physically cannot multiversal travel. So she can project herself into a different version of herself in the multiverse using the Darkhold. She can use that to then put herself in that body. And what they're arguing, because Doctor Strange is like, she's gonna come here and she's gonna kill you all, and like Reed Richards and all them are like, no, she's not. She's fine. You know, like we can handle your little witch.
Right.
You know.
And then it goes into Wanda actually like, you know, possessing the Wanda of this universe and then finding
Just terrifying.
Yeah, that is fucking terrifying because she ends up, you know, finding her way over to this place, which is the what they call themselves, the Illuminati.
I meant the scene of her actually getting the body was fucking terrifying. So
Yeah.
Wanda in 838 universe was with her kids, and she's like about to put her kids to bed, and out of a horror movie, like she starts seeing things move.
And this,
like
hold on, before you continue with this, this is what I was talking about that last time we did the podcast, where this is the Sam Raimi shit that he usually does. So in the middle of her, like, you know, like something doesn't seem right, you get the light that's kind of like moving around, and then you end up getting that first person view behind the stairs through the guardrails. It's just like kind of like if someone's like trying to peek through to see what she's doing, and then when she turns over it kind of like hides or whatever. But yeah, that's that type of camera work that I love about Raimi. I mean, everyone would if they're fans of Sam Raimi. But yeah, go ahead.
So like, yeah, but what he's saying, the winds, and like you hear shut up, like again, you know, you hear whispering or whatever. And then I forget, like this one's a little more violent than the second time, but the first time it like hits her, and like she's like fighting it, and like she's like looks like she's going crazy, and then you see her turn up, and this is one of my favorite part of the movies. Her eyes are red, so she's Scarlet Witch at this point. You know, she's 100% Scarlet Witch right now. Eyes are red. She looks at the camera, breaking the fourth wall, just stares straight at the audience, and like that was terrifying. I saw that, I was like, oh damn. So right now she is still at the Sanctum, and Wong is strapped up, and she's doing this dream walking shit. Or no, he's not strapped up at this point, is he?
No,
I'm trying to remember.
I think he still is right now. I think he still is.
Okay.
Until she ends up coming back.
Yeah. So she because I'm struggling now. I'm struggling to remember when she actually goes to the stone place.
That's a little bit later.
Yeah.
So right now she's just focused on trying to get to America. But anyways, you know, we're taking a little bit too long with this. But
this part is really cool though.
It is.
I think we could skip some parts.
It is.
But
okay, one of my favorite quotes though. If anyone's ever seen the Bryan Singer X-Men movies, which I'm sure you have, there is a famous quote for that Charles Xavier, because they're pretty much explaining to Doctor Strange that Doctor Strange is the one that they should be worrying about because he's the type of guy to do anything he can to win, pretty much. And it wouldn't matter if like who got in his way or who got hurt or whatever. So that's pretty much them because they had to
on a multiversal level, not just theirs.
Right.
Like they're saying he is the most dangerous person in the multiverse is Doctor Strange.
They end up talking about how they had to get rid of their own Doctor Strange because he ended up using the Darkhold to take out Thanos. But that Doctor Strange was like smart enough to not be completely consumed by it, and just he agreed, have them kill him so they can get rid of it. Of like
he went out willingly.
Yes,
because he knew what they would do.
Right, and Black Bolt just being "I'm sorry" like in a whisper was strong enough to just completely obliterate Doctor Strange.
So Billy, Black Bolt's power, he could just whisper, and his whisper creates like these supersonic sound waves that literally erase Doctor Strange. Like he's on his knees and he says, "I'm sorry," and you see it pulse out of him, and you just see it hit Doctor Strange and then just turn him to dust.
Yeah,
that's how strong Black Bolt is.
Yeah,
he Thanos snapped him. Yes.
Yeah, with his mouth.
This mouth.
also, right before this, it shows Wanda like actually leaving the house. And she's, like, on her way.
She's on the way.
This is when they're arguing like Wanda's gonna come here and fuck you guys up, and they're like, "Oh, we're not worried about her. We're worried about you," and that's where this goes to.
Yeah, and like Doctor Strange is trying to tell them that Wanda's the one they should be worried about, and then Xavier being like the cool ass father figure that he is, he's just like, just because someone stumbles doesn't mean we should give up on them. Which is the same quote that he had in the X-Men movies. So that was really cool. But they were just like, no, fuck that. Doctor Strange, you're the guy. You're our guy. Fuck Wanda. We'll take care of her when she comes here. And when she comes here, she just starts fucking up all these Ultron robots.
They hear it. A couple of them run out of the room away from Doctor Strange because they're like, "Oh, we'll go handle this little bitch." Right.
And then Christine ends up getting America, and they run away from her. But while running away from her, she's taken out so much of these Ultron robots that all their oil spills onto her and makes her look like Carrie.
Not yet.
No, they did.
No, I'm saying not yet. So America is stuck in the casing. The big scene happens before that oil scene and all that, so at least a little bit, like she gets a little bit on her, but so Wanda gets in there, she kills a couple of the Ultron bots, and then she's confronted by Cap, Black Bolt, and Reed and them, and they're like, "Hey, chill the fuck out, like you don't have to do this." Black Bolt over here, this is my favorite part of the movie. Black Bolt over here can kill you with just a whisper. And she looks and she's like, "What mouth?" And then it turns to him and he doesn't have a mouth. He's uses his power, blows his own brain out with his own power.
Jesus Christ.
And he just falls flat dead. And this is where shit starts kicking off. Billy, did you ever watch any of Invincible?
Nope.
So in Invincible, this is a very like, not as gruesome, but a very like one-to-one scene of the person that was supposed to be a good guy just comes in and kills everyone. So Black Bolt blows his own back of his head out. She chops. So she throws Peggy, whatever, she throws the Captain America shield, and I think she grabs it and throws it back or some shit, right?
Yeah, those two were the last ones that they ended up fighting, because she ends up taking out Black Bolt, and then she ends up getting Reed Richards and turning him into spaghetti. But like, that's
like
not
string cheese. Like you unfold string cheese and he just
like he was turning into that. But that wasn't even terrifying. What was terrifying is his fucking scream. It's just like, holy shit, this is actually killing him. Like you just hear him legit just like fucking screaming the entire time. But yeah, that ends up.
She kills Cap by chopping her in half with the shield.
Yeah.
And you see, well, you don't see her actually like get chopped in half, but you see it cut. But then the shield hits a wall next to the camera, and there's just blood all over the shield.
Yeah.
And then Photon, they just drop the fucking like ceiling on her, and you just see her go limp.
Yeah.
But now is so once she's done killing all of these, that's when Wanda then starts to go to the where America Chavez is kept captive. And at this point, I think she's already limping. I think you were right; she does have like the grease on her or whatever. But they can't get the thing open, and then America, first time using her powers by her own will, breaks open the glass by herself, and then her and Christine start to try to run away.
Yeah. But before we cut to that, Mordo
X goes over there too, Professor
right.
X, and he tries getting into Wanda's head, and then Wanda basically Uno reverse guards and snaps his neck. It kills him.
That's not even. He's like downplaying it because that was probably like at least for me, like that was like the crazy.
It was a big scene. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, she pretty much did that. And while that's all happening, Mordo is actually fighting Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange is trying to like get released.
He's trying to egg him on.
And he's just like, you've always hated me. Like every universe, Mordo's always hated me because I become the Sorcerer Supreme and you don't. So it pretty much turned into a fight where he ended up winning. He ended up going free. And then, fast forward a little bit, he ends up reaching to Christine and America. And they end up talking about like where the Book of Ashanti is. Because apparently Christine knew where it was all along. And who the fuck?
Because Strange told her.
Yeah.
Where it
was. Who would have thunk it was in the basement of that building? Of all the fucking places.
With his watch.
Yeah.
So they had to use like this watch that like they earlier in the movie that shows like a hard cut to him looking at this watch or whatever, and it's broken or whatever. And then that scene that Z's just mentioning is he tries opening it like with like a code or whatever, and it doesn't work. And then Christine's like, it has to be another way.
Like only you would know. Okay, right. But like the goofiest shit, at least for me, was so it's like he looks at the watch, and they end up using it, but they just place it on there, right? And then it just like opens by itself. Now I don't know about you, but when he looked at the watch and he looked at the lock, I'm like, what the fuck is he supposed to do with it? And then when I see he actually just like puts it on the lock itself, and then that's it. I'm like, oh, it's just that. Okay,
it's just that.
All right, that's pretty elaborate, I guess. Yeah, right.
So this then goes into what's it called?
They're just running away from
Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi really kicks in with his old like Evil Dead shit, where what Z was explaining earlier, she has like oil on her face as if she's like covered in blood, and it looks like she's drenched in blood. It looks like she's straight out of like Carrie, and she's coming at them with this limp, chasing after them, and they're like closing doors. She's blasting the doors open, and it's like an emergency exit thing. As they like close the door, she blasts through. There's another door that they're able to close, and she's just blasting through each one. And then finally they close one, and she stops behind it, and they're like, "Where'd she go?" And then I think she just appeared out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. They did really good with that. Like this, every scene felt I don't know. It felt like Raimi, at least.
Yeah.
When it came to like all these suspenseful moments and stuff like that.
Wanda just looks so fucking menacing that it's like that was a horror movie in those few minutes.
And she did a great fucking job, dude. Like that was probably her best role yet, or like I guess, yeah, role, yeah, as Wanda. But it just goes on after that. They end up going. They end up finding the Book of Ashanti. And in the middle of this, I actually did forget when it was, but it's pretty much so Wong ends up being freed only because Wanda is trying to get him to take her to where like the real book would be.
So Z mentioned, and I think both of us are now like forgetting where it is in the movie. There is a point where the black chick that he mentioned earlier, like Wong's right hand man, comes and takes out a dagger and stabs the Darkhold that Wanda's using. That rips Wanda straight out of her dream walking, and she ends up literally frying the chick. I forget what she did, but you see her turn into just a burnt skeleton. Yep. Again, straight Raimi shit, where she's just a skeleton just sitting there and then crumbles or some shit, right? Mm-hmm. So then Wanda frees Wong and she's like, "Hey, where the fuck are we?" Or like you do these spells, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
And then I ain't telling you shit, motherfucker. And then she's just
he just did. And then he just fucking did. He's like, okay, there's a mountain where the original
she was threatening him with like killing more people. I mean, like they were already dead.
Oh, she was torturing, like there were like bodies on the ground, and she was like torturing them or some shit, like their spirits or whatever the fuck, because they're already dead.
Anyways, my boy Wong caved, and fuck you for that. But anyways.
Yeah.
So she
they did my boy Wong dirty.
Again.
he ended up taking her to this like big ass mountaintop where it looked like it was a tomb for the Scarlet Witch, but she ended up talking about it. It's like, no, this is actually a throne, dun 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 type of shit. And everything,
that's what happened.
Yeah, like every wall had like a different spell, so she didn't actually have to like write it down on the book or whatever. It's like, free real estate. So that happens, and fucking before she ends up getting taken away from the astral body or whatever, like she ends up destroying the Book of Ashanti. So I thought that was cool because I don't know, man, a little cop out of like having like a easy way to like end someone,
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing. I thought it was great that they ended up destroying the Book of Ashanti and they couldn't actually.
And that's only 10 minutes in.
Right.
Only.
The Book of Ashanti is the antithesis to
the Darkhold.
Darkhold. Yeah. So Darkhold, bad guy. Ashanti, good guy.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the Book of Ashanti before from a different Marvel movie. I feel like it's been brought up before.
I think it only popped up in WandaVision.
Maybe
Doctor Strange one.
Who knows? But at this point, it's pretty much a bunch of action stuff, so we can kind of cut through some of this stuff.
So they go through what? Another portal?
Well,
something happens where she actually gets what's her face?
America
Chavez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brings her back to her universe, traps Doctor Strange and
a different universe.
What's her nuts? In a different universe. Oh yeah, they opens up a portal, she kicks them into a completely different universe, and then has her open up a portal back to her own.
Right. So at this point, man, there's just so much to talk about, honestly.
Maybe we could skip a little bit into this.
There was a really cool fight between Doctor Strange and a Doctor Strange that survived after completely being taken over by the Darkhold. And that
one thing I'd like to point out about this scene that I'm very disappointed by, in the trailer, there was a sign where evil Doctor Strange looks at him and things just got a little out of hand. And it like looked menacing. It said that. They never gave us that.
Yeah. That's kind of upsetting because like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't for Marvel movies when they do that in the trailers. But no, and then on top of that, the movie version, he actually has a third eye on his forehead.
I thought that was very cheesy.
It kind of was, especially because it didn't really look all that great.
The CGI on it was just awful.
Yeah, they ended up fighting. That was actually probably one of the cooler fights. It felt very reminiscent of the Thanos versus Doctor Strange fight when they were just like going back and forth with each other. But this one was really cool because they were using music notes and like it was a different like scary sound or like a really cool sound like back and forth whenever it would hit one another.
Like so it started with like they're just using their magic back and forth, whatever. To set the scene of where they're fucking at, it's a collapsed universe where that Doctor Strange is the only person left. Mm-hmm. He's the only man left, and you can see just a black hole in the background, just absorbing everything and everything being pulled into it. It's really cool. So they're fighting in this tower where you can like see it in the background and all the shit. So already a really cool scene. When they're fighting, I think like he hits a piano note or something, and then he takes like the actual note and then attacks him with it. And then they start taking sheet music, and then the notes fly off of the sheet, and then they start going back at each other. But bad Doctor Strange had like bad Doctor Strange had it was like Beethoven, right? And then good Doctor Strange had like Flight of the Bumblebees or whatever, and they're like fighting each other back and forth. So anyways, they did really that. Cool. And then it turns out that he has the Darkhold in his universe. They use the Darkhold for then another cool scene. Doctor Strange uses the Darkhold to dreamwalk into the dead body that they buried in his universe earlier in the film, and he uses him to then fight Wanda in that universe.
You ever see Supernatural, Billy?
Yeah.
They did some supernatural shit. Like, aside from that, like, he had kind of like a circle of fire around him, like, I guess to like keep the dead from him or whatever, or it was just part of the ritual, maybe, who knows. But anyways, Christine was just like saving him or whatever. There was something interesting in it where in the process of the fight or of him doing the dream walking, these demons pop out and they try to like take him because he broke the rules. So yeah, we'll go back to that a little bit later, but he ends up using the dead body of the other Doctor Strange to pretty much do the final fight of the movie. And that's where, you know, all the action comes through, and America finally gets her moment where she's just like, you know, I'm not afraid anymore. I can control my powers. Well, she just does like a Superman punch to Wanda.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Yeah. So you gotta help me out on this part though, because I think they opened up another portal. Because she
So she punches open a portal to 838 universe, the one that Wanda just walked in and fucked up, and it opens up to Wanda with her kids again. This Wanda is all like hurt and shit, and the kids are in there, and then our Wanda goes in there and she sees them and she's like, "Oh, my boys," and she like starts to go after them. They're like, "Ah, witch!" Then they start throwing stuff at her. They get all scared, and then other Wanda like starts to come over there. Our Wanda realizes that like, oh shit, you know, I'm scaring my kids. Like, this isn't something my kids would want me to do. And like, you could see like that realization in her face. And
yeah, she pretty much by the end of it, she ended up doing a Doc Ock ending from Spider-Man 2, where, you know, she realized she's been doing wrong, and especially because the Darkhold is a really bad thing, she didn't want anyone to be controlled by it anymore. So she ended up destroying the whole fortress, including herself with it. But
she dropped it on herself.
Yeah, it was also off screen, like that we didn't actually see her dead body. So I'm assuming she's gonna eventually come back for something. Who knows?
I mean, we have the other witch chick we have to do something with too. So
yeah, that, after seeing that, it's just like, why would they even make that spin-off show?
Probably for a TV show
Agatha
later.
All along, but
well, again, we didn't even get Vision.
Yeah. Vision was a big part in WandaVision, and I mean, it's ever since we were introduced to both of those characters, they've been kind of inseparable. And the fact that this movie only had Scarlet Witch and not the Vision, you know, that was pretty nutty.
So, but I can explain it to you a different time, but in WandaVision, we actually got a living Vision out of that. A new Vision who is alive, who's all white for some reason. And
that didn't die from
right. He's still existing, and he just flew off at the end of WandaVision, like to go find himself or some shit.
Right.
Like his dead body? His dead red body?
It was actually a whole white body.
It was from his dead body, though, I think.
I mean, just his mind.
Oh, right, because they created their own vision.
Yeah,
and then put his mind in forever.
Yeah, those the movie was pretty nuts, dude. Like what we're explaining really doesn't do justice to it because the fucking movie was just a spectacle. It was awesome to watch.
So I know Billy's gotta go. So 2 last points in the movie. One, were the 2 post-credit scenes. We get Doctor Strange walks out, or I'm sorry, before the movie even cuts at the very end, for the credits, you see Doctor Strange walk out of his house, out of the sanctum, and then he hears a piano, and then he hits the ground, and then goes up, and then a third eye pops up on his forehead. So up until this point, we weren't getting any side effects from the dark hold.
Yeah,
And we got that. So it's like, okay, the dark hold actually did something then. Then we get a cut to same scene where he's walking out, going to the same place, but instead of that happening, another sorcerer pops up and is like, hey, we gotta go fuck shit up. And she's like, unless you're too scared. And he's like, oh, I'm Gucci. And then opens up another portal. Turns out that is Clea, who is canonically Doctor Strange's wife in all of the comics. And all of the, so in the MCU, like we had this whole thing with Christine. That's not a fucking thing in the comics. His love interest is Clea, who they show at the end of this.
Right.
Anyways, hard cut to the rest of the credits. Final cut to
Bruce Campbell's character.
Bruce Campbell punching himself and then finally stopping.
It's like, that's it. It's over.
That's it. It's over. And then hard cut done.
Yeah. The one takeaway though is when those demons were trying to take out Doctor Strange for using the Darkhold the way he did, and they were saying like it breaks the rules. It's like, okay, this is dead souls talking.
Yeah.
What if these dead souls are talking about breaking the rules from hell? Like, what if this has something to do with Mephisto? Mephisto being the devil.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. He's the devil in Marvel, right? I'm assuming
like a
he is.
double character, yeah.
But
so maybe this pisses off Mephisto, and Mephisto comes back and is just like, "Hey, remember when you used that dead body when you weren't supposed to? You broke the rules."
He sends his ultimate weapon to like fuck up Doctor Strange. His ultimate
which is
weapon
Ultron, ties it all together.
Being Ghost Rider.
Undead Ultron.
Undead Ultron.
Well,
the
Billy,
Undead Avengers ties into the zombie version.
So that's a thing about the comics is Ultron is one of the biggest bad guys in all of it because he keeps coming back. That's his thing is he keeps coming back. And I don't know if you ever played like Marvel vs. Capcom or whatever. In Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultron fuses with some bad guy from Capcom and they become the ultimate bad guy. And but that's
that was
how
actually
Ultron
my favorite one
is.
to play growing up.
Yeah, that's how Ultron is. He just keeps coming back and more powerful each time.
And
that's a lie,
they
Billy.
can't kill him.
I don't believe it.
You're alive. Your whole life is a lie.
That wasn't your favorite game.
You don't even know Capcom versus Marvel. What do you mean?
Anyways, movie was great. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't put it in like my top like 3, maybe my top 5.
Z puts it as his number 2 contender.
Yeah, dog.
Number 1
because I fucking
contender.
like him.
No, it was number 2, wasn't it?
Well, it's between that and the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And Strange is number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Look, man, it's all opinions, dog.
Yeah.
Do what you
like
will
assholes.
with it.
Everyone's got one. They all stink.
Exactly.
I liked it a lot, specifically because of the horror aspects of it.
That kind of makes me want to watch it. The way you're describing Shield Pro and all that.
I'm really hoping that they keep Sam Raimi for the third one.
Yeah. Also, after this, Billy. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, Benedict Cumberbatch is taking a break from acting after this. So he might not be coming back as Doctor Strange. It might be Clea. Also, Clea is Sorcerer Supreme, and it's different cases.
Right.
Nerd.
Interesting.
I watch TikToks. That's it.
I hope not. Shit, at least finish the trilogy and then take a break.
How much time do you have, Billy?
Like 25 minutes, but I also gotta go pick up a battery for the car. So.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyways,
I've been holding in a piss this whole time.
I walked away to go pee because I was like, Z can talk about this.
Anyways, that's it. It's over.